Hello there everyone and welcome back guys. So today guys we're going to detail this Kia. It has done 2,000 miles since the last detail, which was 3 weeks ago, and I did a full decontamination and wax. And today we're going to do a express wash on the car plus the bug removal, and we're going to start off with the wheels. And we're going to do a pre-wash, and then we're going to do the contact wash, and I'm using the Garage per Zero Decon car soap for the pre-wash and for the contact wash of the wheel. Great soap to use on the wheels as well. It's a good degreaser, diluted 1 to 10 in this Quasar double action pump spray, and I'm using my trusty Works Hydro Shot here. And I've also brought 50 liters of water in two 25-liter tanks because I have no access to water at this location. Using my trusty EZ brush I've been using for ages for all the wheel arches, and I also rinse it off in between the wheel cleaning so that I don't transfer any dirt to the next wheel arch. Next step, I'm going to spray the chemical in the wheel, inside the wheel, and I'm using this long-handled sponge-ended brush, you can call it, and I'm going to agitate the wheel from the inside, try to get as many spots as possible. And another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clean behind the wheel. This isn't something I would recommend doing, but I'm just using my glove to agitate behind the wheel. It's not very safe. If the wheel moves, it might squash your fingers, but like you have to be very cautious when you do this, so I wouldn't recommend using this kind of method. And at this point the sun started warming up the car, and I decided to rinse up the soap to avoid any residue or water spots. And then I did the face of the wheel with the Alien Magic ball brush, which is very delicate and gentle. And as you can see, there's not that much dirt. The foam looks pretty clean. That is a result of doing the pre-wash, and it also makes the agitation a bit smoother in my opinion. And I'm using the Viking brush to agitate the tire to remove any previously applied tire dressings. Also rinsing off every single brush I use just to reduce the transfer to the other wheel. And I am going to do a pre-wash, and the wheel is going to get wet again, but to avoid water spots I'm going to dry it with my cordless leaf blower for now, just to avoid any kind of water spots. And also the car is going to get very hot, so it's good to do that. So the front bumper of the car is the most contaminated because of all the bug splatter, and I'm going to treat it separately before doing the whole car. So I'm going to use Built Hammer Touchless via pump spray. I'm gonna saturate it while the car is not too hot, and then I'm gonna rinse it off to remove most of the bugs, and then I'm going to do a contact wash on the front end of the car. And then afterwards I'm going to do the remaining of the car with the mitts, and I'm going to use a rinseless wash as well. For the contact wash here, I'm using Bilhamber Touchless. It's a bit of a off-label use, but it does work as a good degreaser on the paint, and it does provide lubricity and slickness, so I have no trouble using it for the contact wash. And now I'm going to spray the whole car with Bill Hammer Touchless via pump spray. And I'm not trying to saturate it heavily, just apply it evenly because the car isn't that dirty. Plus, I know there's a sealant shine on it, which will make the washing process a lot easier. And the car was getting very warm at this point, so I had to move a bit quicker. And I prefer to do the side of the car that exposed to the sun first. And we're gonna start top to bottom using the rinseless wash, and we're gonna dry the car straight away after we do the mid agitation. And I'm also using my foldable steps here to clean the rooftop. It just makes it a bit easier. And I also use them while cleaning the wheels as a chair. It does help you to reduce the stress on your knees and make the wheel cleaning process easier. The rinseless wash I'm using here is DIY rinseless, and I'm using the multi-mitt method. I'm using 4 mitts soaked in that rinseless wash. This allows me to avoid using a bucket and cross-contaminating my mitts in between the car sections. So now we're going to move on to the touch-up stage, and we have removed 90% of the bugs. However, there are some spots left behind, and I'm going to use a citrus tar and glue remover. It is quite oily, so it doesn't dry up on you as quick, and I'm using a microfiber cloth to gently wipe down those spots, and it does do a good job on them. And next step will be the spray waxing of the car. I use this spray wax specifically because it performs quite well in the sun. It doesn't chuck up on you, doesn't leave a nasty residue. It acts very quickly, and you can buff it out. I do get some high spots here and there, but I prefer to take a second microfiber cloth to just gently buff down those spots if I get them. So it works very good in direct sunlight and on high panels. The only problem is they could use a better trigger spray. As you can see, when I sprayed it, it kind of went all over the place, but this is a non-issue. It buffed off easily. So the window cleaning in direct sunlight, I prefer to break it down to 3 steps. First, take a soaked microfiber towel or cloth with distilled water. I wipe it down, then I dry it pretty much immediately with a towel. And also the third step would be to use a dry, clean microfiber cloth to buff out any high spots. It works for me, and I get good results, streak-free windows, and it works well in direct sunlight. And now I'm going to apply tire dressing first before touching up the wheel itself. I'm using a sponge soaked in this water-based tire dressing from Autoglym. Works quite good. It leaves a nice matte even finish to the tire. For the wheel touch-up, I use a microfiber cloth that is soaked in distilled water, and then followed up I use a dry cloth to buff the wheel to perfection. So these are the final results, guys. Please like and subscribe if you like the video, and I will catch you in my next video.